Veka, the lion, is well and truly roaring this morning. He just came through the arrivals gate and his fans were here to welcome him. Sibusiso Vilane joining me now at OR Tambo. Simba, welcome back to South Africa. What does it feel like to be on home soil?
It feels overwhelming. It's amazing, and it's good to be back home, because that tells me I've got another mountain to plan for and go and climb. So it's good to be back.
Now, you climbed to 8,000 meters above sea level, which is a South African record without oxygen. I know you wanted to get to the summit, but that wasn't your primary goal. You really just wanted to test your limits, Sibusiso, and how far you could actually go without extra oxygen.
Yes, that was the whole idea. It was the curiosity I was trying to sort of find, which has always haunted my mind, as to how high can I possibly go naturally without the use of oxygen. And the answer was very clear when I pondered on that question, that it can never happen until you've done it. And hence me deciding this year to go and attempt it. Well, thankfully to Sports and Social Change Network for believing in it and then sponsoring the whole thing, and SSCN for the gear. But yeah, it was my idea. People thought that I was going for the summit. I've summited Everest twice, and I'm happy about that. If I would have summited without oxygen, I would have been very happy. But this was just to gauge my own natural ability without, and getting to 8,000 meters on Everest without oxygen for me is quite amazing. I believed I could do it, but I was very sad, not disappointed. I was sad that I couldn't start when I got to 7,900, which is 8,000 meters, because I had this terrible cough, which I realized if I went on, then it was going to cause complications. And I made the right decision by deciding to turn around and just walk down the mountain.
Now, just give us a sense, Sibusiso, of the difficulties one has when trying to breathe at that level. We understand oxygen levels are 3 times lower than normal at the summit of Mount Everest.
Well, I will share it in this light, because I got to 8,000 meters in the late afternoon. And I sat there because I knew that I wasn't going to go down and I wasn't going to go up to the summit, but I was going to stay and sleep, try and sleep at 8,000 meters. And I never had a wink. So that's how tough it is to live at 8,000 meters, which is known as the dead zone. So higher than that, it's really super tough. You are colder, you are slower, you physically are drained when you try without oxygen, compared to people that do with oxygen. To make an example, it took me about 11 hours to climb from Camp 3, which is at 7,300, to 8,000 meters. And it took the people in my group that were using oxygen only about 6 hours. So it goes to show that it is much more difficult for anybody or any person that's climbing without.
Now, we understand you are planning to run a little race known as the Comrades Marathon, Sibusiso. You really are pushing your limits as you're getting older, aren't you?
Well, people call it madness. I think it's excitement. It's just trying to see what's your ability, what's your limits, and you realize that at one stage you have no limits. So this was a personal idea of mine to run the 2 ultras, being 2 oceans, which I did on the 31st of March, and then go to Everest and walk off Everest and come and run a Comrade. So in about two weekends' time, I will be starting up in Pietermaritzburg and going all the way down to Mapida. I believe that's where it finishes this year. So they added another kilometer, so it's going to be a proper 90K. But I feel good about it. I trained before I left home, but I never did anything training, because people will say, coming at high altitude, surely you should be super fit. It's not like that. Actually, at one stage I felt that I was very unfit coming down from the mountain. So it will be a very interesting one, but I'm ready to take up another challenge. My mind believes it can be done, and I believe my body will respond to that as well.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All the best, Sibusiso. I know that you need to greet some more of your fans before you head back to Mpumalanga, so we'll leave it there for the moment. So Veka, the lion, as he is known, well and truly back on the prowl here in South Africa. We'll speak to Sibusiso a little bit later, but for the moment, it's back to you from OR Tambo.